I'm going to be doing a forward folding hamstring lengthening express class today, working into the splits. It's a pose I personally battle with a lot, and so during lockdown I've been trying to really work into those hamstrings, and it's made a huge difference to my practice. One note to say before I start is if you are working into the splits, make sure you take progress pictures. You feel like you're getting nowhere, and then you look back on your pictures and you go, wow, I'm so much closer than I thought. So, because this is an express class, we're going to come to the front of our mats, bring big toes together, heels together, lifting up onto tippy toes, and replace. Feeling the weight evenly distributed on the soles of the feet, energy running up the legs, engage the abs, roll the shoulders back, release them, extending into fingertips, slightly tucking the chin, and just rooting into earth and just taking a few breaths here. And then taking a nice long deep inhale, feeling your spine extending and side out. And another inhale and side out. And one more because it feels so good. And side out. And then gently opening your eyes, bringing hands to heart center. Inhale, and as you exhale, folding forward to the horizontal, taking hands above the thighs, extending vertebra from vertebra, and then taking hands onto blocks or mat or wherever you can reach. Extra stretch looking forward, and then tucking in Uttanasana. Bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back on the right. Stopping here for a nice stretch, our first low lunge of the day, and then stepping back into plank. Going down knees, chest or chaturanga, upward facing dog, back into plank, and then chaturanga, and downward facing dog. And then just enjoying your first down dog of the day, pedaling from one foot to the other, and back, and back. And then coming up onto tippy toes, looking forward, stepping forward on the right, enjoying that nice deep lunge again. And then back to meet the front, tucking on Uttanasana, hands above the head, and back into Namaste. Inhale, hands above the head. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, tuck in Uttanasana. Bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back on the left. Going into that nice low lunge again. Really working into those hamstrings, into those hips, getting ready for the splits. So at every opportunity you get, breathe into the space, feel the stretch, and allow your body to open up. And then stepping back into plank, into chaturanga, upward facing dog, back into plank, chaturanga, and downward facing dog. And then just inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhaling onto tippy toes, looking forward, stepping forward on the left, and going back down to that nice low lunge. And then stepping forward, tucking in Uttanasana. Hands above the head and back into Namaste. Awesome, so hopefully you're starting to feel a little bit warmer. Hands above the head, folding forward, extra stretch, looking forward, tucking in Uttanasana. Bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back on the right. And coming up into Virabhadrasana 1. Keeping that right hip forward, left hip back, front foot at 90 degrees, back leg nice and straight and strong, working that heel into the mat, fingertips extending to the ceiling and not holding any tension in those shoulders. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to open up into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So holding that for a second, I'm just going to turn so I can face you. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, coming straight back up into triangle pose. Inhale, creating space. Exhale as you stretch. Placing hand onto shin or ankle or wherever you can reach. And then opening that top shoulder out and up the arm comes. You can look from fingertip to fingertip to get an idea if your arms are in a nice straight line. And you really want to be feeling a stretch on the inner line of your front leg. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, coming back up to the horizontal. Turning your toes to face the front, heels facing out. Inhale, and bringing hands down to your hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, folding forward. Either taking your hands onto blocks ahead of you, in which case you'll just release your head, or otherwise walking heel of the hand back so that heel of the hand is in line with heel of the feet. Extra stretch looking forward, and then coming down to place the crown of your head on the mat. And just really working into the inner line of those legs, activating them, pulling up at the kneecaps. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, looking forward, taking hands out to grab hold of the toes with your thumb and two peace fingers, extra stretch looking forward, and then going down again, really activating those inner thighs. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Looking forward, bringing hands underneath the shoulders and revolving back over that front foot. I'm on the other side of the mat, so don't get confused. You should have your left foot at the front. And then lunging forward again. We're now just going to straighten that front leg. So we kind of are in a wide-legged forward fold or Padasana. And then extra stretch looking forward and releasing that head down so you've got quite an intense stretch to your front hamstring. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, looking forward, bending that front leg, bringing back to meet the front, tucking in Uttanasana, hands above the head, and back into Namaste. Awesome, so I'll come back this side, I can see you from this side now. Inhale, hands above the head. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, tuck in Uttanasana. Bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back on the left. And coming up into Virabhadrasana 1. A nice, deep lunge, moving that right hip back, left hip forward, bending that front leg to 90 degrees, back leg nice and strong, working the heel of the leg down to the mat. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, opening up into Warrior Two. Lunging nice and deeply into that front leg. You don't want your knee to go over your ankle, and if that's happening, it's a sign that you need to be moving your legs wider apart. And then just looking from fingertip to fingertip, checking that they're in alignment, and then gazing over the front fingers. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, straightening that front leg. Creating space. Stretch, 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 stretch. Hand onto ankle or shin, or wherever you can reach. Top hand into the waist. Revolving that chest open. Tucking the buttocks of the front foot under, and up the arm comes. Again, looking from fingertips to fingertips. Check that they're one above the other and in a straight line. And then just opening up that chest, wrapping that glute under. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, coming back up, turning toes to face the front. And now we're going to wing those hands out behind us, interlace the fingers, bear down on the hands. If you want a greater stretch, try and bring the heels of the hands together. Inhale, puffing out the chest. Exhale, extending down and taking hands overhead. Inhale, exhale, looking up at those kneecaps, drawing the inner thighs together without moving the feet. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, up you come. Turning onto the ball of the front foot, onto the ball of the back foot, and coming forward. Straightening that front leg, we're going to go into that wide-legged forward fold. So bending forward, getting that intense stretch over the front ankle, or the front hamstring, wherever you are tight. If you want to point to gaze at the toes. That gives you a nice length in your spine. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, bend that front leg back to meet the front, tucking in Uttanasana, hands above the head, and back into Namaste. Awesome, hope everybody's feeling good and a little bit warmed up. So I'm just going to come to this side here so that I can see you all. So inhale, hands above the head. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, tuck in Uttanasana. Bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back on the right. And onto the knee of that back leg. Untucking the toes. We're just going to start by going into half splits. So you might want to wiggle those toes forward a little bit and just lunging down so you can feel quite an intense stretch over that back hip. And then with these forward folds, we just want to hold them for as long as we can to get the benefits from the poses. And then we're going to come back onto your heel, take your head to your knee, and then coming up again. Should have your knee stacked over your ankle, And we're going to lift up that back leg and just lunge forward a little bit. You can take your hand up, just feeling quite an intense stretch over that back leg. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, release the hands. And then just toe healing the left foot to the outer side of the mat, and then going onto your toes of your back leg into a lizard position. We're just going to sit there. You can go down onto your forearms, but this is also a nice, quite intense stretch just as it is. And just keeping that front knee close to the shoulder, and then just really working those hips forward, working wherever you need to work them to feel the stretch into them. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, coming back onto fingertips, moving that front leg between the hands, back into a plank, and then down chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. And then stepping forward on the right, during that last lunge, back to meet the front, tucking the Uttanasana, hands above the head, and back into Namaste. Awesome. So last one, coming to the front of your mat. Inhale, hands above the head. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, tuck in Uttanasana. Bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back on the left and onto the knee. Untapping the toe, toeing the feet ahead. And we're just going to lunge forward into a half splits, getting a nice stretch over that back thigh. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, coming back, and bring your head to your knee, to your shin. And then coming forward, coming up, taking that left hand onto the left foot, and then lunging forward, taking hand up into King Arthur's pose. Intense stretch over the front of that back leg. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You have to work hard in express class. Inhale, exhale, and release. Toe healing that right foot to the outer edge of the mat, tucking the back legs, straightening up into a high lizard, and stretching there. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and then going down into forearms. Really feeling an intense stretch into your hips. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, coming back up into hands, bringing the front foot between the hands, front to meet the back into a plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Awesome, so you should be feeling nice and warm and stretched. And we're going to come onto our knees. So you might want to fold your mat back a little bit, and you might want to get yourself some blocks. 2 tins together is an awesome example of a block. It's just a little bit lower than the block, but it's the same thickness as a block, if you can see there. So I'm going to take our blocks on either side of us. We're going to get a cloth and place it underneath the front foot. I might just need to move back a smidgen over here. And then we're going to take our right foot in front of us, and we're just going to use our blocks, tuck in the back toes and slide forward. You want to keep that chest lifted and just relax into the pose. A lot of people hold tension when they're in this pose, and it stops them from getting the full benefits of the pose. So just inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, coming back. I'm just going to move this back a smidgen more, and then we're going to go to the other side. So taking your left leg, tucking the toes of the back foot and sliding it forward. You generally will find one side is tighter than the other side. And the hip of the leg that's sliding forward, so your left leg, you want to slightly pull that back, and the front hip forward, just a micro adjustment. So your hips are nice and square. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, coming back out of it. Now we're going to do that again, and just so taking your right foot onto your support, tucking the toes of the left foot, and let's see if we can get a little bit further this time. So sliding that back foot forward. The aim is that as soon as your leg can come down onto a support, so my blocks, you can then rest on that support underneath your thigh, and it gives an awesome way to sit in the pose for a little bit longer, to work on squaring your hips. And ideally you want these blocks, mine are a little bit too low for me, where your thigh meets your buttocks. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, coming back. And then moving on to the other side, I'm just going to use my block. Let's see if I can get that support. So taking that left foot and moving forward. And even if you need to use 2 or 3 blocks or whatever height you're at, it's an awesome support to use, because it just gives you freedom in the pose to really relax into it. Inhale, exhale, and then you can bring your hands up into the full pose if you've got that support there, but just be careful not to do anything that is going to pull a muscle in your groin or something like that. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and as you exhale, coming back up. Awesome. practice that 2 or 3 times, the more you move into the pose, the more open you'll get and the better you'll feel. And then just coming down to lie on your back, hugging your knees into your chest and just giving them a little bit of love, rolling clockwise circles and anti-clockwise circles. And then just extending your legs out in front of you, palms facing up, shoulder blades nicely tucked underneath you, chin slightly tucked, closing the eyes and relaxing for a minute of Shavasana. And then when you're ready, you can either stay here for a little bit longer in Shavasana, or you can gently start bringing life back to your fingers and your toes, hugging your knees into your chest, maybe stretching your arms overhead. And then when you're ready, coming to rest on your right hand side while I end off with a thought. It takes an honest look to observe ourselves without judgment, and then to do something about it. Observing without judgment is the practice of yoga. Doing something about it is the stuff that makes up your life. And with that, pushing to a seated position, facing the front. Thank you so much for joining me for my express class. Namaste.